Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. EHG continues with Hype Week Day 2. And what do we have today? Sentinel rework and Heartseeker. And they have dropped so much information. They literally gave us a table of contents for this post. So this could be a very long video. I'm going to try and talk faster than normal and really cover the important information. And of course, I will link this in the description if you want to go read it for yourself. So we're going to jump right in with Heartseeker. Now, this is going to be the meta skill. This is going to be 95% of streamers on Twitch are going to be playing Heartseeker Marksman. This skill is so much fun. It's what I'm currently playing in the test realm for CT. And the skill can be physical, it can be cold, it can be fire. And it's honestly just a blast to play. A lot of people compare it to Diablo 2's guided arrow. And this is the actual tooltip for it. Heartseeker requires a bow. Shoots an arrow that seeks the heart of the nearby target, passing harmlessly through other enemies. Whenever it hits a target, has a chance to continue through it and recurve to strike again. So basically the way it works is you hit the target, it hits the enemy, and then just continues to hit them over and over again based upon your recurve chance. And we're going to go through here and we're going to talk about some of the nodes for it. Shadow Weaver's Grasp. This gives you a minimum recurve of 66%. So on here with Shadow Weaver's Grasp, your recurve chance never drops below 66. This means every time the Heartseeker strikes an enemy, there's a 66% chance it will continue. And if you get lucky, I mean, you'll just keep hitting over and over again. So we're just going to go over some nodes now for Heartseeker. Arrow of the Ravager. Heartseeker has additional chance to recurve and its damage is multiplied, but it now has a cooldown. So if this isn't your main ability, you can give it a cooldown and it is a stronger skill. This one isn't my favorite. I love spamming it. Nimble Threads. Heartseeker has additional chance to recurve based upon your dexterity. This is a dex stacking build. So this is a node that I definitely took. Heart Drain. When directly using Heartseeker, arrows have a chance to grant mana and health. You could turn Heartseeker into a generator skill. So mana and health. Exposed. Heartseekers have a chance to apply frailty and shred enemy armor, but it no longer seeks new targets. This is awesome for single targets. Straight Through. When Heartseeker target dies, you shoot puncture at nearby enemies for each recurve it would have triggered after the target dies. I love this. You basically can automatically trigger puncture. And what this is awesome for is map clear. So Heartseeker is actually a really good single target. And what this gives you is the ability to now clear maps extremely fast. Damage conversions. Frozen Splinter. Heartseeker penetrates additional cold resistance scalings with your overcapped resistances. This is likely going to be a fan favorite. Frozen Sentinel out there. Look, they even put your name in it. Cold penetration per 10%. Overcapped cold resistance 1%. You could also come down here. Dragon Fang. Recurves each grant a stack of Dragon Flame for 10 seconds. Higher stacks can only be achieved by higher amount of consecutive recurves up to a maximum of 20. And basically this turns it into a fire skill. So you can make it fire, you can make it cold, and you can have it physical. Down here, you could also turn it into a throwing skill with the new unique helmet, Ravager's Dart. And this gives you recurve chance per Heartseeker, throwing damage with Heartseeker. Heartseeker now counts as a throwing skill and scales with throwing damage instead of bow. You are limited to one active Heartseeker. If you have no active Heartseeker and are in combat, you throw one at nearby enemies. So basically, when you are running, you throw out Heartseekers. So this is not only a way to turn it into a throwing skill, but it also automates the skill. Not my favorite. I like being a marksman and actually shooting arrows, but if you're someone out there that loves throwing, you got a helmet for yourself. So that is the big new meta skill, Heartseeker, and I really do mean it. It is a lot of fun. It's fast. It's great at single target. It's great at map clearing. And I think there's going to probably be 4 Season 2, 3 meta builds. Pretty simply, the physical version with puncture, cold, and fire. So now let's talk about the Sentinel changes, and there's so many of them. We're literally going to scratch the surface on what's coming. Starting with Volatile Reversal. Now, obviously, Heartseeker is a new skill, and for all intensive purposes, Volatile Reversal is a brand new skill. They basically gutted the old skill tree And yes, it is the same theming of the old skill, but it's a completely new tree, so it might as well be a whole new skill. A combo ability that jumps you forward in time to a target location and performs a melee attack on arrival. Recast within 3 seconds to jump backwards in time to your original location and perform a melee attack on arrival. So you're pinging back and forth with the new volatile reversal. And they kind of give you a little shot here. Jump forward, kill everything, and then jump back. Obviously, this is a decked out Void Knight. Gosh, it looks pretty. It looks so nice. Specialization. So now we're going to talk about some new nodes coming to the volatile reversal tree. When you jump forward in time, all your devouring orbs are pulled towards you and trigger a Void Rift. Moving on. When you could also, you're going to be able to age your devouring orbs. When you jump forward in time, your existing devouring orbs become older. This causes them to expire sooner. When you jump backwards in time, your existing devourer orbs become younger, and it adds time to them. EHG is very, very smart. So your devouring orbs will be able to be older or younger based upon how you use the skill. I absolutely love it. Future Focus. Volatile Reversal's second combo ability now jumps you forward in time to the target location instead of backwards. So basically, you can now jump, right? So like a true crazy traversal skill, but it does add a 6-second cooldown. So, you know, if you want to really traverse the map fast, you can use Volatile Reversal as a strictly traversal movement skill. Reclaimed Action. When you travel at least 4 meters, everybody's going to love this, by the way. Everyone is going to love this. Reclaimed Action. When you travel at least 4 meters by jumping through time, your next direct melee attack or spell is guaranteed to echo. Void Bolts. Man, do Void Bolts need some love. When you directly use Volatile Reversal, you now also cast Void Bolts up to 3 enemies near your arrival location. Volatile Reversal costs additional mana. When you directly use Volatile Reversal, you now also cast Void Bolts up to 3 enemies near the starting location. But Volatile Reversal casts additional mana. So you can also spec into Void Bolts. Moving on, Recurring Corruption. Your Void Bolts return to you. All returning Void Bolts can hit the same target again. This means a single cast of Void Bolts spell can hit a single enemy up to 4 times. So you're going to have a way to really spec into Void Bolts. Hold the Line. You gain a Frenzy buff while you are able to jump backwards in time. Phrase Reality. When you are able to jump backwards in time, a percentage of your armor mitigation also applies to damage over time. So you're going to have a way with Volatile Reversal to deal with dot damage. Everyone's favorite. Anchored Timeline. Volatile Reversal's forward jump has significant shorter maximum distance, but its cooldown is reversed. This makes it where it's no longer a traversal skill, which means you could take a different movement skill and still jump around with Volatile Reversal. Sentinel changes. Okay, so that was everything just for that skill. And again, that is not covering all of the notes. So Sigils of Hope is now Symbols of Hope. I don't know why they changed the name, but they have completely reconstructed Sigils of Hope as well. Symbols of Hope. Every 2 seconds summons a symbol that orbits you, causing you and your allies attacks and spells to deal 3 additional fire damage, increasing health regen by 20%. Activate to consume the symbols, granting 100 ward and 5% less damage taken per symbol for 3 seconds. You can have up to 3 symbols at a time. And on here, it's basically what they've done is they have taken the old functionality of this ring and just applied it to the skill. So this ring used to automate sigils, and now they just automatically pop up. You never have to actually use them. It's almost like you just have an aura, right? So because of that, they needed to reconstruct Orin Sunseal. So now this gives you maximum symbols, increased symbol gain rate, increased healing effectiveness, increased armor. And listen to this. Symbols of Hope is automatically activated when damage taken leaves you below your endurance threshold, consuming 71% of its cooldown and mana cost. So it's funny. It still automates your Symbols of Hope. It doesn't create the symbols, but now it triggers the ability for you when you take a big hit. And again, when you activate it, you gain ward and you take less damage per symbol for 3 seconds. So if you got 5 symbols, 25% less damage. It's going to help keep you alive. Moving on to Time Rot. Now, Time Rot has been pretty bad for a long time, and they're going to make it where not only is it pretty good, it's probably going to be meta, one of the meta builds for Season 2. Now, Time Rot, you can have up 12 stacks of it, and that's kind of the reason why it's never been really good. When you have Ignite and Poison and you're getting 2,000 stacks, it's hard to compare Time Rot where you can only have 12. So they're giving a way to really boost your multiplicative damage through Time Rot. So this new node, this new passive node for Void Knight, Rot Grip, is required if you're going into a Time Rot build. Basically what this is going to do is give you multiplicative damage for your slow chance, Time Rot chance, and attack and cast speed chance. So you're going to have a way to super boost your Time Rot through Rot Grip. Going down as well to other changes in this. This is the Forge Guard passive. Everybody knows about it. We've talked about it ad nauseum. The Forge Guard is now going to be able to hold a two-handed weapon. The only weapon he can't hold, I think, is a staff and a shield. So kind of the Huntress, Javazon, D2. You're going to be able to hold a two-handed weapon and a shield for your Forge Guard. Very, very exciting. Moving over to Paladin. So moving over to Paladin. When you activate Holy Aura, it causes all your Ignite stacks on enemies in the Aura's area to deal 50% multiplicative damage. Paladin is going to be able to, is getting a 50% damage multiplicative to its Ignites. Holy Trail, Consecrated Ground, they are going to be very happy. Holy Precision, this is also Paladin. Increased crit chance, crit multiplier, and critical strike base chance. So if you want to go into crit. Whoa, this is Void Knight, physical penetration, void penetration, frailty, and slow chance. Continuing down, Abyssal Fluctuation. This is a Void Knight. Elemental damage taken is void up to 50%, and void damage taken up to 20%. Huh? Help keep you alive. Skill changes. Devouring Orb. I told you there's a ton of information. Devouring Orb. It also has a ton of love. While you are moving, you will automatically cast Devouring Orb if it is not on cooldown and you have enough mana. So basically, Devouring Orb, everyone's always used kind of the numlock trick. This is Boardman's Auto Bomber build. They have now taken the numlock trick and put it into a node that's 1 point. So you can automate now your Devouring Orbs. All-consuming. When you directly cast non-orbiting Devouring Orbs within the area of an existing Devouring Orb, the new orb consumes all existing orbs to deal more damage in a large area, multiplicative per orb consumed. However, the orb also deals less ailment damage per orb consumed. So maybe you don't care about the ailment damage because you're going crit. It's probably still works out. Javelin. Javelin's going to be a meta build as well. Definitely in the lightning form, I think. Javelin hits have a chance to apply frailty per point of strength and a chance to shred enemy physical resistance per point of dex. Monster Piercer. Javelin hits deal more damage, multiplicative. This effect is doubled against enemies at high health. And we continue. Multi-strike. Blade Storm. When you create more additional swords than there are nearby enemies, each remaining sword can consume mana to strike the nearest enemy, even if it was hit by an initial attack. You just got blades hitting everywhere with your multi-strike. Captain America, shield throw. Throws a shield at a target enemy. The shield ricochets up to 2 additional times before returning back to you. You cannot throw a new shield until the current shield has returned. We all know that. They're actually putting it in the tree where there's going to be a way for you to just spam shields, just FYI. Smelter's Wrath. What do we got for Smelter's Wrath? Mechanically, Smelter's Wrath is being changed to now grant more damage based on charge, up to 100% more damage at maximum charge from 50% more hit damage per second spent charging. This means that reducing your charge time will no longer reduce the benefit of received from this effect. Effects in this tree that are for each second channeled remain unchanged. Good old Smelters. Vengeance. Vengeance has got some new stuff. Abyssal Retribution. Your next Void Cleaver or Racing Strike deal more damage multiplicative after you have used and hit with Vengeance. And that is up to 45% multiplicative on your Racing Strike or Void Cleave. Winged Steel. Iron blades travel faster, causing it to also travel further. Additionally, Vengeance and riposte hits have a chance to attack with Iron Blade per point of attunement up to a maximum. I told you guys so much good stuff. There is so many more related changes we did not have the opportunity to show off in this post, but don't worry, the patch notes are just around the corner. We will look forward to seeing what kind of builds the community managers create with all the new Heartseeker, as well as the rework Sentinel in Season 2, Tombs of the Race, launching April 17th. Be sure to stick around more for pre-patch Hype Week blog posts. So today, we've got Talkative Tries podcast for Tombs of the Erased, and that's in a few hours. Then tomorrow we've got endgame itemization, balance changes. Then we've got quality of life, other game improvements. And then on the 11th, patch notes and the Town Portal podcast with myself and Frosty LaRue. We're bringing on Judd, Mike, and Ross to just round out everything. So anything not discussed over this week, I'm going to take care of you guys on Friday. So that's the video. Huge rework to Sentinel and new skill with Heartseeker. Look how long it takes to get to the top. It is going to be an awesome update. So that's the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Of course, only if you think I've earned it. Check out the Discord. We have our brand new treasure hunt sign up. We're going to be looking for Shattered Worlds, the new relic. It's going to be so much fun. We already have 100 people in this treasure hunt. Join the Discord, go right down to the general chat and hit interested. Subathon 3 kicks off April 17th. And again, podcast this coming Friday. I'm done. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.